You just hit play on 10-minute tech talks, business insights, and growth hacks for the time-crunched entrepreneur. I'm Jonathan Kirsting with the Pittsburgh Technology Council and Tech Vibe Radio, telling you the stories of Pittsburgh's most successful tech companies and the women and men behind them. So what can earning a black belt in karate teach you about running a startup? CGI's Manoj Mishra shares how discipline, quiet confidence, and servant leadership form the backbone of strong leadership in business and well beyond. Manoj joined me and my Tech Vibe Radio co-host Audrey Russo to dive deep on how his journey to a black belt informed his leadership and being a better human being. If you have a few more minutes, click on the Tech Vibe link in the description for our full interview. But in the meantime, let's jump into our time crunch version right now. I mean, when it comes to leadership stuff, Audrey just goes crazy because she's very, very obsessed with these types of things. And we love getting people's insights as to how they make these parallels, because I think it ties in so perfectly. And that's why we're so excited to learn about your leadership parallels with this. But we want to know your journey a little bit first, right, Audrey? About okay, you decide you're going to start taking karate. And this is a journey. This isn't like you just next month you're done.
It's been 6 years.
Yeah, 6 years.
It's been 6 years. So what are some of the parallels?
Sure. So, and I think, and I say this, I'm going to use a lot of quotes, but so one thing I usually say is leadership is not about titles, right? Yes, you can be a manager, but you don't have to have age or a profession to be a leader, right? And so as I started karate, and I said, I was humbled. I must tell you, I was really humbled. I realized the inflexibility that I had. There was a time when I went to my sensei, and I admire him a lot. His name is John Gaddis. I even told him, do I belong here? And he said, there's only one way to find out. Just try it out, right? So, and then for me, as I was doing karate, to me, karate started becoming like a stress buster. I would come from a long day of work at 7:30 at night. I would join this dojo with all my sort of co-partners in karate and kick and punch and literally not think even a bit about work. It's very hard to do that in the life that we lead. So, and then I started thinking, you know what, I when I look at karate, I see a lot of parallels to leadership, the things that I can learn. And this has sort of manifested over the last 6 years. And I've sort of distilled into 5 parallels that I draw, Audrey, right? So one of them is discipline. You cannot do karate without discipline. There are days when you don't feel like going, I must tell you. You have to push yourself to do it. You're like, do I really have to go? There's no compulsion, right? I mean, you just don't show up and...
Big deal.
Big deal,
Yeah,
right? I mean,
yeah.
I can have 10,000 reasons why I don't need to be there. So I felt it was practice, focus, self-control. So, and that's same at work, I think.
Foundational.
At times when-
Foundational. Yeah.
100%. So I felt discipline is another, one common thing that sort of ties karate and the leadership that you see at all levels. And then the second was quiet confidence. And I'm using the words very carefully. It's less about arrogance. I think you can see sometimes when I see arrogance, I see lack of confidence. And to me, karate is about the quiet confidence. And I think you see that, they're confident, but they're humble at the same time.
That's so important. I maybe can break that down a little bit for Audrey and I, because I think about leaders and folks who've been very successful, and they do have this confidence, but they're not being braggadocious about it. You see, of course, people who are very braggadocious and they're successful, but they're lacking something. And once you're quiet, that's even more confident, right?
100%.
And it's so hard today because we live in this world of things of lightning speed, lots of shiny objects.
Exactly.
You can become an influencer over anything, right? So it's almost the opposite of being reinforced.
Yeah.
What I see are people who are like, I have this many followers. I have this much influence. This is really about me.
Yeah.
This is about, right?
Yeah.
And as a result, people will quote unquote follow me
Yeah.
and give me attention because of all those things.
Yeah.
And I see us like sliding away in terms of what it means for leadership.
True leadership. Yeah.
Leadership. And Audrey, you're spot on. I think in a world where attention seeking is a key skill, right? It's very difficult to be quietly confident, and you have to be purposeful about it. It's not going to just happen. So, and I think I see this, for example, my sensei, he's so strong, he can put me down in 30 seconds. But instead of doing that, he teaches me how to how to lead, how to do it without sort of arrogantly showing his belt or his accolades. So no,
All these big
So in
tall
a-
trophies they get.
in
Every
a
karate
quiet-
studio's got the tall trophies, right?
So in a quiet, strong way
Exactly.
is what you're saying.
Yeah. So Audrey, we have about a minute left, and we're like 2 out of 5.
Oh, well,
of
we
these
only have
leadership
2 out of
skills.
the
I
5
know.
learnings.
But we have a whole next segment to go over the rest of these and talk to Manoj a little bit about what this all has meant for him during this. I mean, 6 years is a commitment to learning something. And to get to the level you did and then come out with this, I think it's just so cool. And I'm learning so much right now. And I think our listeners are as well, too. In case you just joined us, we are talking to Manoj Mishra from CGI. Go to CGI.com if you want to learn more about the company there. And Audrey, we'll be right back after this quick break. This is Jonathan Kirsting.
And this is Audrey Russo.
We'll see you in a quick one. All right. As promised, we are back with your front row seat to Pittsburgh's technology and innovation ecosystem. And today we're stretching our bounds, Audrey. We're learning some leadership skills.
Well, we're
based-
learning some parallels between leadership and karate
Yes.
through having Manoj Mishra here from CGI. He's a partner, senior vice president there. So we talked about 2 things a minute ago, which is discipline and quiet confidence, but you have a thesis of 5.
Yeah.
So let's talk about your next one.
sure. And I think
Number 30. Bring
Number
it
3,
on,
there you go.
man.
And this is a personal favorite, servant leadership, right? So if I look at karate, the higher belts are supposed to teach the lower belts, and it's not a rule. It's part of the culture,
Right.
and that culture sets the whole leadership tone where
You have to.
you have to.
You have
right?
to,
You
right.
have to. So when I go to the class, if I'm doing something wrong, the higher belt will come and say, "Hey Manoj, I don't think this is how you do it. This is," and they teach you. And they do teach you in a way where there is a humility, there is a way that they're serving sort of the student.
Yeah, I love that.
I
That's
love
so
it a lot.
cool.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, this
Well,
is,
you know, too often we have lots of leaders that you can see are in the ink or whatever press, or again, you know, all that glitters is not golden.
Yep.
That don't open doors for other people.
correct. And I
And
honestly,
to me, I feel like that's your responsibility as a
you are
leader.
spot
If
on.
you
Yeah.
have access,
Yep.
why wouldn't you help others punch
100%.
through that door?
100%. And I do agree. Leaders eat last, right? I mean, there's this whole sort of saying, and when you approach leadership that way, it is an humbling experience to lead.
Yep. That was CGI's Manoj Mishra sharing how lessons from the dojo translate into the world of leadership and entrepreneurship. Whether you're leading a global team or building your first startup, the message is the same. Discipline keeps you consistent, quiet confidence earns trust, and servant leadership inspires others to follow. If you want to grow as a leader, start by mastering yourself. Thanks for tuning in to 10-Minute Tech Talks, and I'm Jonathan Kirsting, and remember, the best tech leaders are always learning on and off the mat.